What's good, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy King Koan of the Dog. Here to give you another DayZ Beginner Guide to Survival. Let's consider this the 2.0 version, you heard me? So let's get straight into it. Waste no time and all of that. So the first thing I want you to do is be able to find your way around the map. So a good way to do that is to go and download I Survived DayZ and ARMA map. When you do that, you can choose to download it, or you can just pull it up on your phone and just look as you go. Once you find where you are exactly by looking at a road sign, or sometimes they have like destination maps where you can see exactly what you're spotted, exactly where you are with this red dot or whatever, then you have a great idea of where you're going and where you're coming from. If you're trying to find the homies and you're telling them where you are, this way you guys can find each other with the I Survive map. Tip number 2. Multivitamins. Multivitamin pills are used to increase your resistance to diseases and help fight them off. So let's say if you picked up a water bottle or a canteen and drunk out of it, before you do so, try to take the multivitamins to prevent catching anything, you know what I mean, or getting sick in any way. Tip 4, tetracycline pills. Tetracycline pills are used to treat cholera disease. It also acts on all diseases for 5 minutes. The thing about the tetracycline pills is you can't double stack, but you can stack the multivitamin pills on top of a tetracycline pill. Tip number 5, codeine pills. Codeine pills are used to treat pain, sprains, and fractures related to physical injury. Has the duration as most pills, 5 minutes. Man grooming. Alright, so if you find yourself having had survived long enough that you actually have scruff, and me personally, my character's always bald, so once I see the hair, I already know it's time for some man grooming. Alright, so just pull out whatever sharp object you got, whether it be the steak knife or whatever, and you'll see the shave icon appear and begin to shave. Then bam, your boy cleaner than a bitch. Tip 6, insulation. So a big part of DayZ is staying insulated because it's cold out there. So if you don't have the proper attire, you're gonna freeze to death slowly but surely. So it's important to go about finding outfits that have the best insulation possible to keep your character as warm as possible to stay away from hypothermia. Tip 7, be sure to listen out for flies. Like in this situation, there happened to be a survivor there. Sometimes there can be good loot left on the survivors. Loot and get out of there fast. Tip 8, heat buff. So standing in front of a well-lit stove can grant you a plus sign near your thermometer, giving you a heat buff. You can also dry your clothes standing in front of the stove. You can warm up if you're super cold. So I believe if you're wearing the clothes, it takes 2 minutes to actually dry up. But if you take the clothes off and lay it in front of the stove, I believe it takes less than a minute for the clothes to dry. Tip 9, sharpening stone. It can be used to repair sharp items, restoring knives and axes to worn status from either damaged or badly damaged. Comes in crucial, let me tell you. I scoured a map trying to find one of these bad boys, you hear me? Tip number 10, police station. Anytime you see one of these buildings in your horizon, with a little cream building with the little round thing on the top, police station. 9 times out of 10, you're gonna find yourself a weapon in here. But the issue is, it's a hotbed for PvP. Everyone's coming over here for weapons, so be ready for pressure. You hear me? 9 times out of 10, if it's me, I try to hit the police stations before I get to the military bases, so that when I get to the military bases, knowing everyone else is looking for weapons, I'm ready for that pressure. As you see me loading up the banana clip, getting ready to handle business. Tip 11, military bases have great loot, the best loot. Assault rifles, pistols, everything you can think of, SMGs, are out in the military base. But what's also out there is hella PvP, because there's going to be plenty of people trying to loot for the same thing you want, you heard me? So be careful out there. Tip 12, everybody is in a dick in DayZ. So as you can see, somebody just approached me out of nowhere while I'm checking out this body for some loot. And so I'm in a party, and I'm trying to talk to my man, peeping like, oh man, I forgot I'm in the party, you heard me? But the thing about it is, normally, when you don't respond fast enough, people tend to shoot you in your head, you heard me? But I noticed this guy didn't get me yet, so I thought, okay, maybe it's safe enough to get out of the party, right? So now I get out of the party, and well, I'm looking back at the footage, and I realized that my audio isn't on it. It would appear that I didn't have my mic on properly. Like I have an issue where the mic for me to be in game is working just fine, but when I'm recording for the Elgato, I have to have an actual microphone attached to the PC. And in this case, he can hear me, but y'all can't. You heard me? But anyway, so yeah, I was on guard and prepared for the worst, but this guy actually turned out to be cool, so I gave him what I could. Now, I wanted to give my man a weapon, but I had the visual of my man Op and High laughing at me as I gave this dude a weapon, and all he did was turn around and shoot me in my head. So I gave him what I could, and I went about my business. And yeah, it was a good experience, man. I mean, I would have rode out with him, but like I said, I was in a party riding with my man, so I couldn't even, you know. But yeah, everybody in DayZ is an addict.
Appreciate you being friendly.
Tip 13, cool room. That obnoxious laugh that you heard, imagine running with that laugh for like, I don't know, like an hour plus. Yeah, I mean, constantly hearing that laugh, it becomes obnoxious. So the only way to avoid it is by not eating human flesh or not eating out of bloody hands that you just got from cutting up a survivor. And it's uncurable. So I mean, I suggest just don't eat the human flesh unless you can bear the laughter. Tip number 14, gloves to slide down ladders. So in DayZ, there's like certain structures that you can climb, and I mean they hella tall, but you can slide down to get off real swiftly. But the thing about that is you're sure to cut yourself. So it's best to make sure that you have gloves when you slide down. In certain cases, you might not have no bandages, you might not have no rags, and you find yourself on these ladders thinking, okay, it's all good. Next thing you know, bleed to death. So be on the lookout for that. Pro tip talk. Tip 14, bandages take 5 seconds, rags take about 10 seconds. So when you find yourself in a big problem and you're trying to hurry up, let's say you in a shootout or something, it'd be wise to use the bandages because it's that much more fast to heal up, right? But the rags, of course, you know, that's what we start off with, so we gotta do what we gotta do. But I suggest if you can get your hands on the bandages, do so. They'll be crucial in a gun battle, you heard me? I appreciate you taking the time out to watch the video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you like the video, be sure to hit the notification bell so that you know when I have an up and coming video. This is your boy King Koan of the Dog.
I'ma pull them bitches wrong. Do it by yourself, cause niggas ain't gon' put you on. I'm from the gap, nigga, I'm a dog. Better warn these rappers, cause I'm coming like a storm. I'm focused on the money, yeah, nigga, juggin'. Pull up on the scene, all them bitches looking.